All right.
Funky bass line.
Dude, that happened to me one time, and it was on for like 14 minutes.
That was our last podcast.
That was our last podcast. We actually had no sound for the first 14 minutes exactly.
Oh my goodness. Welcome back to the Ride Boundless podcast. We have Tony and Anna. We're going to do quick introduction.
Cool.
Who are you? What are you guys about? What's happened in your lives? And thank you for this 20-minute drive you guys just did.
Yeah, no problem. Well, my name's Anna. This is my fiance, Tony. We started Westside Motorcycle Collective.
That's awesome.
Back in 2022.
Yeah.
And what is it? What do you guys do? You guys build motorcycles, do clothes. You guys, what do you do? All the above?
So we started off as a ride group out of West LA, so the Westside Motorcycle Collective. The name stems from a group of individuals who share a common interest or belief. So out of respect for all the clubs in the area and in LA, we decided to call ourselves a collective because we're not a club. You know, anyone can come with us. There's no prospecting. There's no none of that. And we respect all that, but we wanted to create something a little bit different. And so we made Westside Motorcycle Collective in 2022. It did not hit when we first started it. We had, I think it was like 10, 12 of our friends. We'd ride out to like Rock Inn or like Ojai Deer Lodge. And I was like, this is going to be cool. People are going to like it. No one really liked it, except our friends, which was cool.
Well, we really weren't we didn't set out for anyone to necessarily like it. The reasoning behind why we started Westside and just the page in general, because it actually had a different name. Before it turned into Westside Motorcycle Collective. Big shout out if you know what the old name was. But what it started as was Tony was new to the area. He had just gotten his Harley and he didn't have anyone to ride with. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if maybe we just made a Instagram profile, posted the rides and see who wanted to come along with us. And he also had a really good group of friends from Bartell's Harley Davidson who he rode with, and they really helped him learn how to ride the canyons and, build that confidence in riding, especially with me on the back.
Nice.
So from there we just started posting, and it was like he mentioned, it was really just a group of maybe 10 to 12 riders at the start. And then it did take kind of a pivot.
So I let it die. And I was like, I want to figure out like what to do with this.
Which is normal.
Yeah. I was like, okay, like what is this going to be? And then it was November of 2022. I picked it back up and I was like, all right, like let's do something like this. And I had been a part of other ride groups and stuff, and it wasn't for me. I wanted to do something a little bit different, more like a West Coast style riding with less formation, but still, as we get into it, you'll kind of understand. But so I started this thing. I was like, let's throw a ride to Neptune's and see what happens. Yeah. And I started
and post about it, like let people know, tell our friends, make it bigger than the small rides. Because prior to that, I think we would maybe post like
just a flyer
the day before, like the day before we were about to do it, just text
5 minutes before.
Really off the cuff. But for this, we planned it out. I think we posted about a month in advance. And we sent it to everyone. We believe in like guerrilla marketing. So what we will do is we will just send out 100 messages to different people. Hey, will you share this? Will you like this? Will you comment? Instead of paying for any marketing. And we didn't have the budget to pay for it back then. So we really just reached out to a bunch of people and connections we had made, just meeting new people in the industry. And we ended up having, what was it, like 80 riders on that
80
first
riders
ride?
on our first ride.
Shoot.
Yeah. We were so blown away, and we didn't expect it. We didn't really know how to handle it. The night before, we were kind of sitting there, and Tony was like, well, I think we're going to have about maybe 50 people. And I was like,
Which
no.
is still crazy.
Which is crazy,
She's like,
right?
No, we're having 20. And I was like,
no, I think you were the one who is more conservative. And I was like, no, I think there's going to be more people to show up. Yeah, there's going to be a ton of people. I was like, it's going to be great. And it was way more than we had expected, but it was a great turnout for that first ride. And that really set the tone for what the page turned into and what the business ended up becoming after that.
Well, so I come from like a sales and marketing background. I've been in sales since 2015. Before that, but professionally after college since 2015. And I just I thought of this as I noticed everyone was kind of doing the same thing. It was like, we're going to post a ride. We're going to ride somewhere. We're going to stay like this the whole time. Then when we get there, we're going to eat. We're going to talk about our bikes and then go home, which is cool. And I love that part of the motorcycle culture. And there's a place for that. But there was really no place for people who like don't like to ride like that. Right. And what that means is like when I would ride with my friends, we would lane split the whole time. And like it was
really more about the destination than anything.
Well,
than the ride.
No, it was definitely about the ride, but it was about choosing how you got there. So like for me, when I started riding,
go more aggressive.
I wouldn't say that. So like the way it would work is like our main value is ride your ride. So what that means is you decide the safest way to get there for you. If that's riding in formation, do that. If you want to take off and lane share and do that, cool. And if you want to ride a wheelie, just do it. But we've got another value. Yeah, we'll meet you there, right? And give you your space. And so I do a PSA before every ride, which is like explaining these values. Ride your ride. That means riding the ride that's safest for you. If you're new to your bike, don't go to the front. Stay in the back. Find people who are like you. And if it is too aggressive, pull off, let people go by, and then get in. Split lanes. We let people know that we're going to be doing that. You don't have to do that, but that is something that we will do. If you're not comfortable with that, again, chill out, let people go by you.
Right.
And then respect other riders. And that's super important. I wish more rides would say that, because you'll be on a ride and someone will be right on you. And you're like, man, like this guy.
Get off my ass.
Come on, man. Or like you're taking a turn and then they don't go single file.
Right.
And it's like these little things that make a ride safe that with experienced riders, we automatically do it, right?
Right.
So I explained that before, and I let them know, like, hey, there's going to be guys doing wheelies. I'll get the videos, give them space. I'll send them to you after the ride. Right. But like, let people kind of do their thing. And it can come off as very dangerous when you see the videos.
But that's the whole point. So the point,
is the marketing,
is the marketing. Yeah. And, I'm the one who's on the back taking the videos. Tony never has his phone out while he's riding. He always has both hands on the bike. On the bike, yeah. He's never filming, not
even on the handlebars, just on the bike.
On the bike somewhere.
On the tank.
On the tank.
Yeah, I'm the one who's always filming, and
on the engine guard.
Wow,
Willie.
Yeah, right.
I make sure to get those good shots that people love.
But yeah, so what I found, and it was so interesting. I was so nervous when I did this. I was like, this could go one of two ways. Either we could have a whole bunch of people crash into each other. Yeah. And then I got to hang it up. Like, this is done. Or it goes the opposite, which is what I thought, which is if you give people the freedom to choose, they're going to choose safety 99% of the time. No, they will. Because on our rides, people, I've seen it. I don't have to tell them how to ride, and they're safe. They're giving each other space because I do that PSA. So they go in knowing.
That's awesome, by the way.
Let's be safe about this. Because it is a privilege to be able to lane share. It is a privilege to be able to do what we do on motorcycles in California. Yeah. And
only 11 months out of the year. Yeah,
it's terrible. That 1 month gets me, man. I get sad.
We could only do half that month.
But so since then, our first ride, I was like, okay, well, I'm in sales. I was like, how can I make this more fun? And I was like, so I started to bring in some vendors, sponsors. And
we segued over into events. So first it was just rides, and then we would end at a destination and we would hang out, and then people would ask us, well, what are you guys doing after this? Like, what's next? And so we thought it would be cool if maybe we threw our own events. A lot of other people were doing it, and so we would find venues who allowed us to bring in vendors. And, we would make agreements with them. We'd let them know how many people we were expecting, what crowd they were expecting. And then we kind of just went from there.
Yeah, which is very interesting. So our page, although it only has around we're approaching 7,000 followers, our engagement is 25%.
That's huge.
It's insane. And it's because, and I didn't realize this, but people were looking for something like this. And it kind of has grown, or we've done 0 ads. It's grown organically this whole time. And it's because of the partnerships that we've created with the local vendors and also the local establishments. For example, Clutch in Venice, work with Oscar very closely. And
the Hoagie.
The Venice Hoagie. We really try to help out small business owners through this. And the impact we've had with them is amazing. I called Oscar. I was like, hey, we're going to do another bike night. He's like, Absolutely. Got a couple ideas. We're going to bring out food here. We're going to set up beer here. We're going to do this, this, and that. And it's kind of cool to see the collaboration go even further in our second year, right? Technically. Right. And the impact it can have on the community of like, I have people who've met their best friends on our rides now. And like,
that's so beautiful.
And my buddy just sent me a message, and it's him in Japan wearing a Westside hoodie. And it's like I'm just like, this started on my couch in Marina Del Rey, you know? And like, and now I've got like people who are pre-ordering our jackets and like so proud to rock it.
This is amazing, guys.
Dude,
this is awesome.
It's the dream, right? Like,
to execute your vision properly and for people to see it and agree it and sport it, like that's awesome.
Yeah.
We were super lucky that everything kind of fell into place the right way.
It was a silly question.
Yeah.
How much of it do you think, obviously it's many factors, but how much of it do you think was COVID kind of helping this for your guys' cause?
So we didn't.
Did COVID help you more or did it not?
We caught the tail end of COVID.
It was the very end of COVID. Yeah. We didn't start posting rides until that January of 2023 when we had our first ride to Neptune. So I feel like
it's all recent.
Yeah,
it's very recent.
We just celebrated our 1 year anniversary.
And just January. To give you an idea, our first ride to Neptunes we had 80. At this last 1 year anniversary ride, which was insane, we had 300. We counted.
300 people at Randy's Donuts.
So we start at Randy's Donuts. It's super inconvenient, but like what I did is I crowdsourced it. I was like, hey, if we're going to do rides, where should we start them? And someone put Randy's Donuts. It's iconic, West LA. It's in Inglewood. Like it's right off the 405.
So we tried it and people loved it. And we did think about possibly switching it. And the feedback we got from that was very negative. Yeah.
There's not even a bathroom there. Like,
but people love it. But you know what? There's a bathroom right down the block. And
it's
people
great
found
photo
it.
op.
Yeah.
It's
really iconic LA.
It's iconic. Yeah.
And then most recently we stopped taking Lincoln right there in Venice because of having so many bikes.
The size of the group itself.
It's inconvenience for the motorists.
How are you guys doing? Are you guys taking anybody to block up the lanes or anything?
No, so we don't do any blocking.
You don't worry.
We don't tell anyone specifically, hey, you're going to block, you're going to do this. People will naturally do it, but we, just to protect ourselves, never tell anyone to block.
We do have a team. Yeah, we have a team. So we took on a sponsorship from Lexan, who now has donated headsets to our whole team. So we're all in comms. It's kind of interesting.
That's awesome, huh?
Well, we have people now. We have people now buying Lexan so they can hear what we're saying on rides, which is funny. But yeah, our last ride up to Neptune's was amazing because we're like, hey, slow down or speed up, or hey, caught a red light, and it's like the group doesn't know this is going on in the background, but the whole time we're all working, and we've got about 10 people. We have a tail, mid, floats, leads, and everyone knows the route. So
yeah, we have our groups split up because we don't want them all in the front or all in the back. We want to make sure that the person in the front can communicate with the person in the middle, and then that person in the middle can communicate with the person in the back, and then the person in the back who may not be able to hear the people in the front, the person in the middle can relay that to the front. So
quick question, because you guys got sponsored by, what's the company?
Lexan. Yeah. SoCal.
How do you like them? And how does that range work? Because I use something, and I don't want to talk about what I use, but like that thing doesn't go a mile, like not even close to it.
That's where
when I have the I don't know, mesh. They all have mesh, right?
It's good. It could be better. I would love for there to be some more money in the tech in the motorcycle industry. I think that could be interesting.
Yeah.
But what we've done to get around it is our floats. So our floats are the communication between the front and the back. And by float, I mean, they could be a blocker, but they're really just making sure that everyone is kind of staying safe, communicating with everyone, and just kind of monitoring the group while the leads are there. And then we have our mids and our backs so like the mid can communicate to the back and to the front, but the back can't hear me. And the floats float in and out of that mesh system.
And we also did it before we had this mesh system. Right. So we kind of knew.
Hand signals.
Yeah, we use a lot of hand signals. We always say, hey, if you see a signal, throw it to the back so they can see it as well.
Yeah.
But you know, the mesh and the comms definitely help, but
they're so cool.
Well, we
when
need
they
it.
work,
Yeah,
they're so fucking
it's amazing.
cool.
Yeah, we need it now because
I've
of
ridden
size.
for so long, and when I started using that thing, the comm systems, I felt like a Star Wars character, because all you're looking is at helmets, you know, and you're like reading each other's thoughts. Like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So do I. Whoa, who said that? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's insane. It's wild.
And it's more fun with your friends.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And you can help people out. I mean, you can, like, you know, cop up front. I got to stop. I need gas.
Yep.
I've helped people where, you know, we go through the canyons and I'm like, dude, you're on the wrong gear. Like, you're leaning wrong. You're doing stuff and, you know, shift down. Oh, yeah, that's right. Woo, you know, like you can, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You know, or somebody with shitty tires. Get out of fucking line, bro. Go home. Well, I can see cables or whatever. You know,
that's the comms too. So we communicate with each other if we see an unsafe rider.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we'll handle that and make sure, like, hey, slow down or like whatever. Because it is on us. Like, although it's ride your ride, like there's a level to that we have to maintain, which is like, again, it's respect other riders. When you're riding unsafe to the point where like you're endangering other people, that's not respect.
Right.
And so there's a fine line with that. But what we found is like people love it. They love the freedom. They were looking for something like this. And like, we still have people who ride in formation. Formation, there's a place for that too. I went up Mulholland. I'm not going to go crazy, you know, with a group. I'm going to stay like this and make it safe, right? So I think, you know, the value our group brings is it's a place for the people who don't feel like they fit in with other groups. I've tried to ride with other groups before I started this, and I always felt like an outsider, you know, and that wasn't true for every group, but like, you know, you go and everyone's kind of like,
there was just something that didn't mesh, and there was just, you know, the vibe was off, or, you know, there was just always something. And so we were just like, why don't we just start it ourselves? Like, why don't we just do it the way we want to do it and see if anyone likes it? And a lot of people did. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we started doing bike nights, which is even more fun because then you don't really have to do a ride, but people show up and it's kind of like a family reunion is how it feels. You know, it's like,
how often you get once a month?
So we do it once a quarter.
Once a quarter.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a lot of work. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a lot of work, but it's also like, we try to stay away from the drinking and riding. Like, I think there's a whole culture that's negative with motorcycles around drinking. And we try to like avoid that as much as possible because of like, you know, we attract performance guys. Well, you have a cammed out 131 and you have enough beers, you're going to get whiskey throttle, and that's dangerous. And we try to make sure that we promote them. Like, we'll end our bike nights early for that reason. Or
we never really go past 10.
Or we'll do like a day event 9. That's 11 to 4, you know?
I wonder, this is my random fucking mind.
No, you're good.
I wonder if you have, you know, for example, you have man A, and you give him, you know, a 96 cubic inch motor. He drinks 4 beers.
Yeah.
I wonder how that would affect him on that 96 inch motor versus a 113 or, you know, 127. Like, does the danger increase also with the CC and performance of the bike?
It's the rider. It's your personality.
And how comfortable you are on that bike.
But let's say you can handle 5 beers, no problem, right?
Yeah.
But do you not feel like a different bike that even has more performance, you might let go a little bit more because it's a little bit more?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think if you're building a bike like that, you want that.
You want that. Yeah. So you're a higher risk.
You want to challenge that back wheel and see if it's going to stick, you know? And, I you know, that's a tough thing for us to, we've tried to entertain like mocktail providers. It's hard to get them in because a lot of them challenge the bar, right? And the places we go, the bar wants that money. So, that's been a challenge, but outside of that, I mean, you know.
Yeah, it's not only that, you know, wherever we go, we always make sure there's food as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of businesses have done really good on the food aspect of it when we come in. You know, we've had a lot of businesses thank us because they were like, you know, this is our slow time on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon, you know, and our bar and food and kitchen has made, you know, $5,000 off of it because everyone sits down and eats.
Right.
Regardless of if they're drinking or not, they're eating. We know they're eating.
You go to places with good food.
Yeah, that's true. Like, we always make sure the food's really
I like
good.
to eat, that's my thing. Drinking's cool, but like food is so much better. And like, especially on the West Side, like you've got some great food over there. I'm a taco connoisseur, I like to say. I like all of them.
Tacos are great.
Oh, dude. You give me a $2 street taco or a $15 taco, I'm going to eat them all and be happy the whole time, So, but yeah, so after our 1 year, we did some reflection and we just did a ride up to Chopper Fest. That was our first time vending at Chopper Fest.
Nice. How did it go?
Man, it was like, I had a moment. So I really look up to the guys from Thrashin' because just the brand they've built and who they are in the community is I really respect them. For that, like, and plus they built an all carbon ST, which is like amazing.
Of course.
And it was the first, so I went to their Neptune's Net Taco Tuesday a while back, and I like shook their hand. I was like, "Hey, I'm Tony." And I've been bugging them on Instagram for a while, like, "Hey, come out." I invite them. And at Chopper Fest, I was standing there, and I remember going there my first time and being like, "This is amazing!" Like motorcycles. I loved the chopper scene. And up comes the Thrashing guys, and he did a double take, Lance, and he goes, "Hey," and I was like, "You know who I am now." And like I shook his hand, and like I was in the YouTube video for like 2 seconds, which is my claim to fame.
Well, I don't know if he knows who you are. But
I don't
definitely
know if he
recognized him.
But it was like one of those moments where he's like, like people are starting to recognize who we are.
They're
now,
starting to recognize the brand name.
Yeah,
which is cool. And we had a whole bunch of friends show up, and like. I went over to Espinosa's Leather. I know Eric over there and shook his hand. And there's just like so many people in the community.
Such a cool community.
Oh my God. And so many creatives.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I feel like motorcycling and art are like.
They go hand in hand.
So especially the leather working is like when have you been to Espinosa's Leather?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God.
They're amazing.
Family run business. Like you go in there in the back, they're making the vest. Like it's like such a cool artisan, like, old school feeling, of like
they can make anything.
Oh yeah,
anything.
Oh yeah,
they're so creative and talented.
Yeah, it's amazing. So that was really cool because it's like full circle, and being able to be a part of, David Mann, the history there with him and like his art and seeing the chopper scene and being a part of that is cool. So what we've tried to do over the past year is I think motorcycling is very secular. When you think of it, like Harley performance guys stay together, chopper guys stay together, V-Class kind of stay together.
Yeah.
And then you've got, your Triumph guys who stay together, your Honda guys, and it's like, it's a weird thing.
It's so weird.
And we're trying to break that.
So we did the Venice Classic, we did a lowrider show, and we brought V-Class from Pomona and all over, but mainly Pomona, and they came down and we did a V-Class show. All right. And it was
we did a bike show, but it was mainly V-Class.
It was mainly V-Class.
Awesome. Yeah.
And like for me, I love bikes. If my first bike I fell in love with was a Deluxe, and I don't have one because that's not how I ride, but I still love them. And we're really trying to like change the community in a way where like everyone stops looking at the brand you ride and just looks at like who are the people. And like I think if we start looking at that, we will have more fun, and be less about like, ooh.
But it's so funny because it's. I appreciate that, and it seems like you guys are accomplishing that. But it's
trying,
but it's hard.
It's so hard.
It's so hard because somebody rolls up with like, a Sportster. You're like, awesome, awesome. But when you're on your bagger, you're like, because look, I have a live wire.
I get it.
I have a live wire.
Those are fast,
bro. They're super fast. But you know how many people talk shit?
Oh yeah.
Like they just talk shit. I have the streak light, I love the streak lights. Nobody talks shit about the streak light.
Yeah.
The BMW, when I had it, the GS, people, they kind of respect it. They didn't talk shit about it. But depending what I was riding, I was being treated so different.
Isn't it weird?
It's so fucking weird.
So weird.
And then on my behalf, it's stupid. I would have clothing and gear for each bike. I was like, I can't wear this jacket with this bike.
Oh, how funny.
It's so stupid, but
the stigma attached to it.
But the stigma attached to it. And, like I have some buddies, they have Indians, and it's like, I don't care. Like, fucking ride your Indian, But then, like, when we're in the chat, I'm like, dude, your fucking Indian sucks. And your streak light sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard.
Yeah, it is hard. It is hard. We're very passionate people. And I think that's the root of it is like, you look at your bike and you're so in love with it.
Yeah.
And it's like me looking at her and then going, oh, but that's not bad. It's like, no, she's the center of my world.
Right.
Like there's nothing better in this world than this woman. Right. And like, we view our bikes the same way. And then we go an extra step. It's just like, this is better than everything else in the world.
It's sad though that, the people can be like that, because the common denominator is you're on a motorcycle. You're all on two wheels, regardless
100%.
of what that's true. Not all the time,
Yeah.
but regardless of what you ride, it's all riding. And so that was the goal with Westside, is like, how do we bring people together from these different motorcycle cultures to be okay with each other? And on our 1 year ride, we had a huge mix. Every type of bike you could imagine was there. We had Sportsters, we had street bikes, we had Triumphs, we had BMWs. Like, everyone really showed up for that ride, and they loved the community aspect of it, because you could find another bike that looked like yours there. And it started off as being Harley predominant, but it's really evolved since then.
Yeah. That's another thing that I do like about, like, for example, the bike shed. The bike shed was one of those first places that I was like, oh, look, people that you kind of can get along, drink a beer with, and everybody has a different bike. It's not a problem. It shouldn't be an issue. Yeah. It's just, 20 something years, I've always caught on to, like, that's really hard.
Also, shout out Dutch over there. He's doing a lot. It's very hard to do what he's doing, and like a lot of respect. Plus, the food is like really good.
Food is phenomenal.
What's your favorite thing?
I like the pork belly breakfast sandwich that they
delicious.
do.
Oh my God. Like the egg omelet one. Yeah, that one's delicious. Yours?
I like the burrito.
The breakfast burrito?
I'm sorry, I like the breakfast burrito, but my favorite is, I think it's like the California omelet with goat cheese.
That's pretty good too.
Yeah.
I go to the bone marrow burger.
Oh God.
Or the blue, what is it? The blue and white, or
it's like
black and blue.
Black and blue. Yeah.
Burger.
So good.
Yeah, and their prices are pretty great, but they're killing it. They're doing such a great thing, and that's a hard operation. Where I give them the credit, everybody gives them credit. It shows the establishment. But, like, if you live in L.A. long enough, L.A. crowd is hard to deal with.
Oh,
yes.
And they're killing it.
Yeah.
So I wish them a lot of success.
Yeah, absolutely. We're supporting them as much as we can. Our crowd is a bit wild, and they do burnouts and stuff, and we just don't want to burn up their spot. So we just show up there, show them love, eat their food, and go to their events. And and Dutch has been really welcoming of us, which is really good.
That's awesome.
So,
quick curveball. What are you guys riding?
I ride a FXBB, 2020.
Nice.
Yep. And, slowly building it out. But yeah. And then I put RWDs on the back so I can ride two up more comfortable with her.
Yeah. Nice.
Put suspension in the front. So it's really built out to ride two up, but still be a slim bike that you can slick through traffic, Right. So, I love it. I love a street bob, you know. So.
Are you guys going to get into, and I apologize if you're really doing this, but are you guys going to start doing parts and accessories or start offering that?
I've explored derby covers and stuff. And my thing is there is an industry for it, but there's so many people who do it so good. Like we were talking about Lucky Dave's, like I have so much respect for him. Yeah. Like his product is so good. I watched my buddy go down twice on his bike and those things stayed. And it's like, could I build something that would compete with that? Maybe, but do I want to? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of happy in my lane and doing my events and my clothing, but there could be a day where like I'll make a derby cover or something,
or I think what's more realistic for us would be partnering with someone and just branding it with our brand logo.
Yeah. That's kind of what I meant.
Yeah. Versus seeing it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, don't reinvent the wheel.
That's what I'm saying.
No, because I see a lot of people that are building brands like yours. And then they go into a distributor that already has contracts with like Lucky Days or Lindell or whatever the case is, Corbin, et cetera. And then you could personalize it. You could have your logo stitched on the Saddleman seat. And then, hey, look, I changed the pattern. I put carbon fiber and there's my logo. So because if you have a good following, like that's the move.
Who knows? Yeah. Circle back next year. We might have some really cool branded merch.
I'm actually getting a custom vest right now from Eric Espinoza. He just sent me the mock-up of the monogram inside and stuff, and I'm going to post it. And if people are interested, maybe there could be an opportunity.
Right? So
we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, that's kind of how the shirts started.
That's exactly how the shirts started.
I bought a design because, you know, it was cool. And I was like, hey, would anyone buy this? So we did a run of like, I think it was like 50 hoodies.
Yeah, 50 hoodies.
And I was like, let's see if people buy them. And they were like as cheap as I can make them. You know, I was selling them for $40. Right. And we sold out our first run.
Our first event.
Our first event at Roland Sands.
Yeah, we sold out.
And
the beach one?
No. So we did Moto Beach last year. No, we did our own event at Roland Sands with the Iron Goddess
last March.
Yeah, a year ago last weekend.
Yeah, actually.
And from there I was like, well, you know, I'm in sales. I was like, we should take this money and do it again and again and again and again. And now it's like, you know, we don't make a lot off of this, but what we do make, it pays for us to go to like Moto Beach and pay the vendor fees.
It pays the vendor fees.
Shopper Fest.
It pays for more merch and new merch. It pays for designs. But we're not, I mean, I wouldn't consider Westside profitable. Yeah, it covers gas and things like that in order to facilitate
It
Westside.
pays for itself.
It pays for itself. Exactly. And that was the goal.
That's good.
Yeah.
A $2 taco every now and then goes a long way for me.
Yeah.
So, you know.
That's right. Yeah. Stay away from the $15 taco.
I know, man. I know. But yeah, so we started the brand with that. And then like people would come up, they'd be like, you know, that's where these hats came in. They're like, you got to make hats. I was like, okay. So I priced those out and I was like, kind of expensive, but I was like, let's try it. Made 15 of them. Had a homie, shout out Hot Rod LA. He put us on very early. He's off Sawtell, and he helped us with screen printing and like getting prints done, everything like that. And he made our first run of hats, and we sold out of them first time. And I was like, this is crazy.
First event, same thing.
And then we did this newest design, the one I'm wearing right now. All of our designs are after. I'm really big into death metal. I was in a death metal band for a long time. We toured, nice. And so all of our designs are like hardcore death metal theme. So this is like Hatebreed. This is this band Spite.
Shh, Tony, we don't say that.
Yeah, or Bait Freed. But so we just do a nod to that because I feel like motorcycles and metal kind of go together. 100%. And so this shirt, I was like, let's do a pre-sale and see what happens.
We've never done a pre-sale before. Yeah. So this is our first time pre-saling something, and we're really just like, we didn't know how good the design was going to do. It was super off the cuff. I think we came up with it in a matter of days. Yeah. We decided we wanted to run with it once we got the finished mock-up back. And so we put it on a model, and we went, well, we don't know if it's going to sell that well. So like, let's maybe not print like 100 of them right off the bat. Let's pre-sale it and see, so we can test the waters. And this shirt, we sold 40 pre-sales?
50 pre-sales.
50 pre-sales. And we didn't, these weren't even printed yet. We just had the design.
Kanye West approach.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I saw.
Why not?
That's what I saw. And I watched the what he did with that.
Genius.
Oh my God.
Marketing genius.
Marketing genius. And like and so
everything.
I
tried video, the Super Bowl, everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So I tried it, and it worked.
You're a genius for jumping on.
I know. Hey. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
Genius.
Thank you. And everyone has cool shirts now because of it.
Absolutely.
So you're welcome.
And they're happy too. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's cool. Like everyone will post on Instagram when they get it. They're like, thank you, Westside, and like all this stuff.
Genius. No, that's awesome.
But yeah, it's cool to like, I don't know. I love creativity and like design, and like being able to work with these designers is a lot of fun. It's like the other fun part of motorcycling. I circle back there. It's just like, I drive her nuts because I have all these designs saved on my phone now. And like, I'm like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? She's like,
well, so Tony's the creative and I'm the technical one. So my background's in operations, business operations and management. And so I always give him the hard feedback that, he may not want to hear sometimes.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, so he is so creative, and without his creativity, Westside would not be what it is today. I don't have that creative,
No, but you guys complement each other.
Yeah, she helps me keep the books good.
Yeah, exactly.
So that we have money to like go and like do these events, and
we make the right moves on what events we vend at, and
exactly. You ought to come ride with us sometime.
No, absolutely.
Yeah,
I've been wanting to do more rides. It's just
or come to an event.
What's that?
Just come to the event.
I got to check it out.
That's why we do the event. So if people can't make the ride, come to the event. you know?
Yeah. When's the next event?
Our next event is actually, so we're doing a bike night at Lifestyle Cycles, March 23rd. That's not our event. We're just supporting them down there.
Okay.
It's a private shop, obviously not Harley branded. And Junior is, if you haven't met him, you should talk with you and him would vibe really well. Yeah, he's a talker, and his shop is awesome. So if you want to set up a tour of that, I can set that up. But he's got a booth there that he's doing interviews. It's just amazing. But
our next actual event is going to be at Off Track.
Shout out Off Track.
Off Track.
Yeah.
Off Track. And Bartels and Cy. Big Cy.
Cy
Love
is.
Cy. I have to visit him. I'm in trouble, man.
Yeah.
I told him like 3 weeks ago I'd be there.
He is salt of the earth and hard worker, and I can see the grind he puts in, and I have so much respect for him.
Cy, I'm so sorry, dude. I apologize.
He's gonna come to our event and meet you and do everything there.
No, I know him. He sells. I have Ride Clean, you know.
Yeah.
And he was selling it.
Yeah.
You know, so he was selling. I took him like, I don't know, 20 or 40 bottles.
Okay.
So
cool.
He sold out. Now he needs more, and he's like, "Hey, man, bring me bottles." I'm like, "Oh man." Like, so
yeah, his shop is awesome, and he's got like that back lot. And when I saw that, I was like, "Cy, we gotta do an event here." He's like,
"How much?"
Sure.
Dude, Long Beach is fucking getting awesome.
Oh, it's
like I remember like years and years, like 10, 15 years ago. I used to go to Long Beach, like, Long Beach, whatever. But now I'm like, dude, this is the spot.
Oh, there's a scene down there. You have dirt bags too. Have you been in his shop? No. Oh man,
I've been to Roland's new spot. Size
Dirt Bags is building some really cool bikes, and he's just a super humble dude. He's donated to our food drive. Like, he's just a great person. Like, Long Beach is filled with really great people.
Yeah.
Same with Roland from Roland Sands. You know, our buddy Dan works the clothing area in there too, and it's just like, we love Long Beach. Plus, an excuse to ride the bridges.
I know.
I'm in. Legend. You know what I'm saying?
I have 2 shots that are just so legendary, and they're on that bridge. And then I took a legendary shot on the 6th Street Bridge that I was like, dude, this is so fucking
6th Street is pretty epic.
Epic. But the ones in Long Beach are insane.
Well, the last time I did a ride across there, we're going, and this guy on a street bike, I think it was a Yamaha, rides a wheelie across the whole thing. Like,
fucking legend.
Insane. I don't do that at all. I'll do a burnout every now and then, but like stopped, you know? Yeah. And, Long Beach is beautiful. You ride through that downtown area, and it's like, it's so cool.
It's a spot, and there's so many places, great food.
Oh God.
So many places to go. So many events.
What is it? Ballast Point's down there, right? Yeah. We love it down there.
Yeah, it's beautiful down
there. Get a
there.
Duffy boat, go out, do the whole thing.
Dude, it's the spot. Yeah. It's a scene.
Yeah. And so we're trying to expose people to that too, you know, like, because it's kind of weird. LA, people stay where they're at. You know, and I get that because it's traffic.
The traffic, dude.
It's traffic.
Yeah.
But I got to do my dad joke. You know why it's called the 405, right?
Why?
Because you're on it for 4 or 5 hours.
Yes.
You go 4 or 5 miles per hour, you know?
I always tell him how much I hate being on the 405 when I'm on the 405.
Yeah. No, it's insane. I was telling somebody yesterday about this. LA's the only place that you tell people how long you're going to be there in time and not in distance.
Yeah.
You know, because anywhere else is like, hey, where's your house? Oh, 5 miles away.
Yeah.
3 miles away. 4. Nobody says miles here. Everybody's like, hey, I'll be there in an hour. Like, hey, can you come earlier? Well, I can be 45 minutes versus, an hour and a half. And we're not even talking distance.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Well, so when we plan rides and you have 100 bikes, you have to think about that. Like, so we've now changed.
That's why I don't do it.
So we've changed routes. Like, to get on PCH, we used to take Manchester to Lincoln and then get on over there by Mel's Diner in Santa Monica, which was cool when you had 30 bikes.
Right, but then it just became unrealistic.
So now we take the 405 to Sunset, and you drop down Sunset, the backside, and then you hit PCH
which is
there.
a beautiful ride.
And it's a perfect ride. Not a lot of traffic, a nice lane you can split in. It's great. So we've had to kind of adjust. Like, we're doing Angela's Crest test ride this Saturday. And like, even then, now we've added like stops, like meetup points, where if people don't want to come all the way to Randy's and ride out, Mia's at this gas station. Or if you don't want to do the Crest at all, you want to ride back with us, Mia's at this gas station. So we've now done that to like still do the ride your ride thing. because we don't want to force people to like do things they don't.
And it's also based off location, right? So we have a lot of people who come down from Hollywood or even from the Valley, and they may not want to ride all the way to Randy's Donuts. So now we have stops, so they can come and join us at a certain point, and then we can all go to the destination together.
Exactly, and it's made it more comfortable too, because it splits the group up. Yeah. So now we're not bombing with 200 bikes on the 405 for your example. It's only 100. And then when we get out of the heavy west side area and we're into like some more open road, now we got...
We'll hit PCH with 200 or 300 bikes.
That's so wild.
Oh, man. It's really... You know, I was riding on the way to Neptune's, and I had a moment I've been trying to have these moments for myself thing this year where you stop and you like just look. Because I feel like we're so busy, you don't take that moment. You know, like even right now, like sitting across from each other, like if you just take a moment and just realize like how awesome this is.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm riding and I look in my rearview mirror and it's just like bikes. And I remember...
As far as you can see.
And I was just like, they're here because this is awesome. And we're all choosing to be here on our Saturday, free time. No one's making us be here. And these people are here because it's cool. And I was like... I just took that moment to be like, wow, like that feels really good. Like all the work, they don't see the work either. Like,
no, well, I mean, it's been some people probably do. Yeah.
Some, but like, even
if you've been around a long time, you know, there's a lot of work.
Oh my God.
Like you look at a successful ride, that thing took 6 months.
Oh yeah.
It took 6 months and it took like 5 or 6 different rides. And it took like a bunch of posts and Instagram and you know, organization. Like the other guys, Beachside Moto.
Oh yeah,
their operation's insane.
Oh yeah,
you know, but they're even crazier because they try to do it so by the. They're like the most wildest group that is the most organized. You know, where you're kind of like, hey, everybody, ride your ride. You know, don't fuck with it. Don't. And that's
don't mess it up.
Don't mess it up for anybody.
Yeah,
don't get in anybody's way. And,
we have a good thing.
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah,
like ride however the fuck you want to ride, but don't fuck around with somebody's riding them.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't cut off a car, don't cut off a person. Like, you know, like that's fine. Just keep yourself.
Well, we were on the 405 to speak to that going up to Sunset last ride, and we're, you know, it's 4 lanes across. We're 4 lanes across instead of staying like this. And that protected the guys in front who were, you know, allegedly doing wheelies. They weren't with us, but
right.
But I looked and I was like, wow, this is really
not what you know, it's what you can
very,
prove.
Yeah, it was very mature writing, which is like, you know, there were space gaps and people were watching and looking and making sure that everyone was safe the whole time. It was really kind of like when you're riding with a high level rider, you know, right. And I was like, these guys are getting high level. Cause I remember when we first started, people were like, oh man, what is this?
Well, and it's cute. You know, we've had some people come to our rides who, have started riding with Beachside, and then they go, yeah, you know, I really wanted to graduate to the point where I got to go on a Westside ride.
Right.
And I was like, okay, like that feels cool, which makes sense. You know, their rides are very organized. Very organized. They're really good for beginners, yes. You know? But yeah, so we've had a couple of people.
Also, shout out Franco. Franco's that dude grinds,
yeah,
and he is everywhere.
Rockets.
He's everywhere. Like, I was at Chopper Fest and he's like, oh, hey. And I'm like, when do you sleep?
I walked in here one day and he was in my, like, I'm like, what are you doing in the studio, bro?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I was editing. No, I'm kidding.
And his whole crew is just, they're super great people. And what they're doing for the community is awesome. And we have a ton of love and respect for them. And
they're outstanding.
Yeah. It's awesome. Same with Forrest. You know, when I started riding with Forrest Miller.
Yeah, like, he's crazy as fuck. I'm
kidding. He is, you know, his...
Forrest.
A lot of love, Forrest. But
USA, best attorney in the game.
Yep, and he rides his bike, and I'll say this as night. I'll say this to him. He rides it like he stole it. Is probably the best way to say it.
No.
No, he rides it like he's an attorney.
No, he stole it. He stole it. Like, that's not his bike.
I remember my first ride with him. It was actually the first time I went on Topanga, or Old Topanga. We make the left on Old Topanga. You know how it gets like swoopy, and if there's no cars, it's, you know, you go the speed limit, right? And I was on a street glide. I had a street glide before my street bob, and which was a bad choice for me. I just, the way I ride, it didn't make sense.
Hold on. Let me see.
There you go.
Wait. Oh. There it is.
Yeah. But I do miss the bags. So I'm riding, He passes me on the right
Oh,
in the
hell
gravel and then pulls up and just spits gravel in my, and I'm like, who is this guy?
No.
Come to find out, 6 months later, we're eating lunch together almost every single day at the Venice Whaler. And like, we become great friends. But like, I was like, this guy's insane. Like, he's right by people, scraping the whole way. I'm just like, this is nuts. And then, I get my street bob, and now I'm probably that guy. Sometimes I don't pass on the right though.
Yeah.
I will not break that rule. But yeah, shout out Forrest Miller. One of the many people who taught me how to ride canyons, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Do you get up and ride the canyons up in Malibu ever?
All the time.
Yeah.
Every weekend.
What's your favorite one?
I do them all. I usually go to Las Flores all the way up, and then go to, what is it, Puma, whatever. Fucking, I usually catch them all.
Yeah.
And then I'll stop at the old place, grab coffee there, go to Rock Store real quick, and then go back. And
Old place, best food
Great
over
food.
there. Yeah.
best food, best coffee. Their coffee
God.
shop's fucking outstanding.
And it's so chill.
It's so chill.
Yeah.
They now have more parking. Before it was like all dirt in the back. Now they have, concrete or whatever.
Which is good.
The peacocks.
They have peacocks. They have fucking peacocks. Steak and eggs. Their bacon's amazing. I like it. You got to go to a Rock Store just, to get the picture.
course,
Usually before, Jay Leno was there all the time. So it's like, hey, Jay Leno. Rock Inn.
Oh yeah, Rock Inn is great.
Oh,
yeah.
High's amazing.
Yeah.
We were just there this last weekend. This weekend, Saturday, we're going to go to Temecula, Adolfo.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The
so-
motorcycle winery.
Yeah, the motorcycle winery.
Oh, we stopped by there when we were out. We got engaged in Temecula.
Oh,
Actually.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations.
A little wine goes a long way. She'll say yes.
Before the wine or after the wine? When did you do
This was after
After
the
the
wine.
wine, for
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's beautiful out there.
How long you guys been together?
How long, baby?
5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
And you barely proposed?
No, he proposed June of 21.
Yeah, June
June
of
of
21.
21.
We're getting married this
November.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we've been engaged for a little while, but it's only because we didn't really know what we wanted to do in terms of a wedding for a while. And I really wanted the ring. So
Yeah, I was like, this locks it down, and then we
Yeah.
can figure out the rest later, and have some fun along
Yeah,
the
of
way.
course.
So it's not a race to get married.
no, as long as I
as
have
long as you
nice
do it right.
jewelry. Yeah.
Nice. So you guys did that. You did that in Temecula.
Yeah.
At Dofo or
No, we were at what's it called?
Europa.
Europa.
Europa?
Yep.
Did you do the hot air balloons?
No,
Dude,
no.
these things are crazy.
You can do it from a Europa or where?
I don't know. They do it one of the
Yeah.
vineyards. I think they
Did
switch
you?
it up.
You've
every
gone
week.
up?
I went up. It's so crazy because I've never done it, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go up." And I'm like, "Woo, this is great, cool, yeah." And then my wife was like, "When does it go down?" I was like, "I'll find out." When does it go down? Oh, whenever it runs out of gas. And I'm like, "Okay." And where do you guys usually land? Well, wherever we run out of gas. They literally float until it runs out, and then you land wherever the fuck you land. We landed in some private property. Our basket flipped. Like, it was insane. I'm like, this is it all the time. And the van is following us. All right, it looks like you're going to land on this side. And, oh, there's more wind. We're going to go the other side.
Oh
how
my God.
Like,
funny.
it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I'm so
And your
good
wife
on
is like,
that.
what did you
as a-
sign us up for?
As a guy, it's like, woo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah.
Get some beers, but like,
Yeah.
like women will freak out.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so good on that. Yeah. I don't really do heights.
Oh,
No.
that's funny. We'll have to try it.
And then it's one of those things where it's like, I've skydived. When you skydive, you don't feel the drop because there's so much air and so much noise, and then the plane's moving and you're jumping and you and you don't really feel the fall. You feel it, but you don't feel the fall. On like if you do it off a helicopter skydiving, you feel the fall because it's just a drop. And the hot air balloon is the same thing. It's like because there's not much movement going on, you feel the height and there's nothing around you. So it feels like it's scary as fuck.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had that little tantrum.
You're
but-
really not selling me on it right now.
a couple beers, pretty cool, man. But yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
We're actually going back out there at the end of this month. So we're really
The
excited.
the second weekend.
Second week of April.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. First week of April is Arizona Bike Week. And then we come back and we do Temecula.
Yeah.
Which will be fun.
So you guys are digging the events, huh?
Yeah. So actually, we're not. So I made a promise to myself to like do more things. I only want to do things that are fun. And so like throwing events are fun, but like going to Arizona and not being able to experience it my first time doesn't sound fun. Like I bought a motorcycle because it's fun. And so,
well, we didn't want to go there and like work and set up our first time that we were experiencing Arizona Bike Week. So this year is all about, you know, like exploring exactly, having more experiences, not throwing as many events necessarily, but making more connections and being able to experience motorcycle events ourselves before we decide if we want to dive in and vend. Or
so we're doing Arizona. We're going to do Sturgis, potentially Four Corners. And then obviously Born Free and all the local ones around here will be doing.
Are they still doing street vibrations in Reno?
I don't know about that one. Is that a street bike event?
No, that was a Harley big biker event.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that one.
I mean, last time I went there was like 10 years ago, but I don't know if they're still doing it. It was big. It was like 50,000 motorcycles.
Oh, that's cool.
Show up. It was insane.
Reno's not far either, so.
Yeah, it was like an 8-hour ride or something like that.
It's not bad. But yeah, we're excited. We're going to go check out like what the rest of the country has to offer in regards to motorcycles. Sturgis, we're staying a full week. So
nice.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
You'll be fine by then, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. By then,
it's August, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be back on the bike early June, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the reason I was asking is because before COVID, I was going to all the events for Ride Clean.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what I knew, it's what I liked, and it's where I saw the biggest growth and the biggest results. I was like, this is awesome, this is amazing. And then the amount of people you get to meet, and I sell out a product all the time. But then COVID hit, and they stopped doing events. And then I stopped doing events, and I was like, dude, those events were pretty exhausting.
They're a lot.
Like taking boxes. Like one time I did the IMS show, and one of my employees got sick. So I had to take a truck and take stuff to IMS. Then I had to set up by myself. And then I was like, I need the motorcycle in the booth. So I had to drive back, pick up the bike. And it was just a fucking nightmare. And then it was like 3-4 days. And I sold out of product like crazy.
Yeah, the ROI is there. But it's a lot of work.
It's there. Homeboy next to me was like, dude, I've been doing these trade shows for 24 years. And you're selling. That's where I met Dofo. That's where I met those guys. It was great. But like, the following week, I had no voice.
Well, you're on your feet the whole time.
Yeah.
Whole time. You have a chair. It's just there for show, though.
Oh, dude, I was not. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's me. At Chopperfest, we'll typically trailer my bike because I've got 2 10x10s in the back of my truck right now and a table. We could set up a booth right here. Like, I'm all, but like, I'll trailer my bike and, I know it's kind of whatever, but like, and I'll have my team lead those type of rides in for the big festivals. But yeah, on those days, me and her in the booth.
I stay behind the booth. He's out in front socializing and greeting people when they walk up to the booth, pulling people in.
That's what it's about.
And then I'm doing most of the
our
sales.
focus for these bigger events, even though we may not be vending at all of them, is like, so that's why I do like my PSAs and I have myself in the video. So if you've never been to Born Free, it can be intimidating because you're like, this might be a, one of these events, I'm a biker, I've been in the biker scene forever.
It is a biker.
And right?
Exactly.
Right? But if you know Tony when you get there and you know where Tony's going to be, then at least you know someone who's going to greet you and be friendly to you.
Right.
And for a lot of people, that's all they need to go to a really cool event. And
right.
Born Free is not that. Born Free is so much more than, what I just described.
Oh, it's so cool.
It is.
It's intricate. There's many things to do.
The Ives brothers stunting.
You can just go under a tree and just take a nap.
And just hang out, music.
Do you usually camp out or?
So we just did Saturday last year. The year before
we've only ever done one day at a time, but I think this
it's
year
hot out there.
Yeah, I think this year though we are gonna stay in the area and do both days.
Yeah, so we're gonna be staying in San Juan Capistrano.
That's hard.
Yeah,
that's more power to you.
Yeah,
we're bike people.
Yeah, we just this is in my opinion, Born Free is our Sturgis in SoCal. It is the big event, and like we really have a lot of love for that scene, and it's just like it's like a, I don't know how to explain it. It's like everyone's there,
everyone,
and you get to meet so many cool people, and the builds. I mean,
you get to meet new people, and you get to catch up with people like Hot Dog, West Coast Shoppers.
Oh yeah.
I knew him. I haven't seen him for almost 15 years, and I saw him last year. I was like, dude.
Isn't it weird?
It's wild.
Yeah.
You just catch up with everybody.
Yeah. Well, and it's just like, it brings everyone together in a really good way. Like there's music, there's food, and then if you get wild, you can go to Cook's Corner afterwards.
Right.
Yeah, it is the SoCal motorcycle rally, the spot to be.
Yeah, so
it has become that. You're right.
So we're doing 2 days. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
I think for her it'll make a lot of sense because she likes to go down and then sleep and then come home versus doing the back and forth. But last year we did it. We had around 150 bikes with us that we brought. I anticipate us doubling that this year.
Yeah, I think we'll be riding out there with about the same amount that came to our 1 year anniversary. So around 300.
Yeah, because we're coordinating a ride with Lowside coming up from Oceanside, and they're going to meet us at this spot. There's a gas station in Orange County that everyone kind of meets at.
And then we'll all ride in together.
So
that's fucking exciting.
It's exciting. The only bad part is, when you get there and you're like just sitting there waiting to get in, and it, like the bike's hot, and you're like, oh man, But outside of that, it's so cool because it's just everyone's there. All your friends are there. It's
you got to get a grass pass.
Yeah.
You have to have a grass pass. Yeah. You can't go there without it.
Yeah.
Well, our first year, we went with that one.
Well, that was your first.
And we parked in the dirt.
My bike was just covered and and I saw everyone riding in under the big banner. I was like,
I want to ride under the big banner. Yeah, I think everybody's first year is on the dirt.
Yeah.
But then you're like, dude, this is terrible.
Yeah, exactly. Find a tree, park under it if you can.
If you're lucky enough to get a spot next to a tree.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so we've got that. And then we've already scheduled so we do a food drive every year at the end of the year. We
Beautiful.
So last year we did it at Bartell's. We raised 1,000 pounds of food.
A little over 1,000 pounds of food.
Yeah, for the LA Regional Food Bank.
Wow.
Yeah, so we try to benefit, Westside, benefit the Westside by doing that.
Try to give back as much as we can.
And I mean, of all the events I think I've done, that one felt the best.
Yeah, definitely the most rewarding.
And it was just, I think the biker community, I wish someone would just scream from the rooftops. Like, we need Biden to be like, hey guys, this is how much the motorcyclists have donated. Someone needs to say it, because if you look
well, you're doing it right now.
Yeah, I am.
Look right there.
That's why I'm here to tell you. But motorcyclists are making a huge
vote
impact.
for. I'm kidding.
Yeah, right. But or someone needs to say it, because if you look at all the toy drives, all the food drives, everything that happens in that 2-month period, the impact on the community is so big. And
it was really cool. We had people who didn't even go on the ride there, who just showed up to donate food and then they left. Yeah. Even people who didn't even ride motorcycles, we had show up and donate food.
So people that didn't even have time made their way to
And even if it was just a couple cans, people still came out and supported the cause, because, we timed it specifically to be right before Thanksgiving, where, there are a lot of families in need who may not be able to provide and have that big Thanksgiving that they want. But, with the little help that we're doing, we hope that we can, make that possible for some families who are in need.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool to see. And then, I was there when the truck came and picked it up, and the guy goes, man, that's a lot of food. And I was like,
that's the goal.
I needed to hear that.
He came in a pickup truck. He's like, nobody ever does that. I've seen that. I've seen that. The expectation was so low, but you're right. It was a motorcycle event, and when they came, they're like, "Whoa, that's a lot of stuff."
Well, it was funny. People show up to the meet. We did a ride before it too, which I don't know if we'll do that again this year, just because people had cans of stuff in their bags and a backpack, and they're riding canyons with it. They're like, "Where do I put all this?" I'm like, "When we get there." When
we get there.
Yeah, so maybe next year the meetup spot is the end spot, so they can drop off cans and then.
Yeah, I think so. I think that would make a little bit more sense, just so you're not having to ride around with the cans. So hey, you live and you learn.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty cool. And then we made a Costco trip afterwards, and so we did a huge raffle of Espinosa Leather donated, Memphis Shades, Factory 47. We had some really cool prizes, and we took all that money and went to Costco, and you'd be surprised how much rice you can buy.
Yeah, so we bridged the gap. So from donations, I think we had around 870 pounds of food. And then what we did was we took the raffle proceeds, took it to Costco, and bought a bunch of, big bags of rice and cans of tuna, things that they were asking for specifically. We put that on our flyer, of course, but we went and just bridged the gap with specific items that they were looking for and they need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when the pandemic hit, and they were like, "Oh, it's the end of the world," and you know, vaccine and zombies and blah blah. First thing I went was whey protein.
Oh yeah.
Rice and pasta.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, just in case.
You'll be
last.
And beef jerky.
You're gonna be the most swole zombie.
Yeah.
Like,
like, but what else do you need? Because it's a meal replacement.
It is.
You know?
Yeah.
So
it's good, healthy carbs. You got some fats in the way, and then you're good.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a crazy time. You know, COVID almost doesn't. I don't know about you guys, but like I was thinking about it today. I was like, I don't really remember it.
Oh God, I remember.
You know, like it happened, but my brain has kind of like gone. That didn't happen. You know, like life just.
It's like it's not. Did that not happen? It's
Right.
Did that really happen?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is just like I was like, I don't. Really,
it was unreal.
Yeah. Right. Like.
Yeah. It was
Like I remember it, but it's just unreal.
Like it's how our brains kind of coped with that. It's just like, oh, just let's forget that bad time.
Yeah.
Like legit. I'm like, you know, if somebody's like, "Hey, remember that ride?" and I'm like, "Is it, you know, BC? You know, before?"
Yeah, right. That's a benchmark
Because
right?
it's our new BC.
Yeah,
you
I
know, what is
know.
it? BC, AC.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
After COVID, before COVID.
Oh,
Because
God.
dude, life is like complete different. It's to add to what you're saying. I do remember it.
Yeah.
But I feel like before COVID, it was a whole nother life. It was
Way different.
Another
Way
world.
different,
It was
yeah.
another life. People weren't as sensitive. The economy was better.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
inflation hadn't really struck yet.
Inflation, yeah, you know, there's so many things, but it's different. And now it's like I think many people haven't outgrown it. You still see people wearing masks. You know, you get in your car and you still have one of your old masks.
Yeah.
Like,
I have my vaccine card. I'm like, do I still need
do I
this?
still
Like-
need this? You know,
Yeah,
the legit one or the fake one? Don't answer. I'm just kidding.
There you go.
You know.
So actually, during COVID, we won't get political, but like I realized
Too late.
how much I
Too
don't
late.
like being told what to do.
Yeah.
And so I'm not an anti-vaxxer or anything like that, but what I will say is like I don't like being told what to do, and I realized how much that impacted me. So it inspired me to go actually buy another bike, and so I bought a Triumph Bonneville, and I was like, no one can tell me that I can't ride this outside right now. And I was like, that was my thing of like having some power over my life.
It was his way
back.
to rebel.
It was giving,
like,
and I
Is
was
that what you told her?
actually, yeah.
Is that the bullshit you fucking
Yeah.
told her?
No, but it did. So I was like,
Were you just pulling up to like park
Well,
cops?
so
and
I
like, I'm
was-
gonna do whatever I want. They're like, this guy is fucking crazy.
I was living in Chicago at the time, and Chicago's a very condensed city.
Yeah.
But it was ghost town. So I was like, this is the only time I'm going to be able to rip this bike and through Michigan Avenue with no traffic. So I'd go out every morning and get a cup of coffee, and it'd be me in the city. And it was the most beautiful thing. And like, it was like riding PCH for the first time is what it felt like, you know? And I'm originally from Illinois, so seeing the city like that was a bummer, but then it turned into like a really cool thing because I would go and I'd try different coffee shops every morning, you know, with my mask on, all that stuff. But, and so ultimately that's what made me get a bike. And then when I came out here, when we moved back out here around the end of COVID, I took that Bonneville, not to knock Triumphs, it was a T100. And I rode up that, there was a right before Zuma, that hill you hit on PCH.
Yeah.
And I was like, this don't got enough in it for me and her.
Oh yeah, because I was on the back too, and it did not have the pickup. So
I needed.
Probably what was it? Maybe 2 weeks after moving back, because we just happened to move right next to Bartels, Harley Davidson.
Yeah, so
They're so awesome.
So about 2 weeks
that's what I
after.
said.
I love Bartels. I love all Harley dealers, but like Bartels is the spot.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So he went and traded that in about 2 weeks after moving back to California.
Yeah, and I got a twin cam 2016 Street Glide, and I loved it. It was like matte black. It looked like a Batman bike, you know. It was like it was what.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. You should ask him to show you a picture of him on it.
Yeah, because it looks so different than my Street Bob's. You know, got 13.5 in the back, and it's got +2 in the front. It's like lifted, and it's just like it's complete opposite. But I love that bike. I mean, like we put some miles on it, you know.
Have you checked out Advent Black?
So we're actually working with them on a project, and going to be up there doing a podcast with them in a couple weeks.
Yeah, they're awesome, dude. They're killing it.
Oh, amazing people, super supportive of the industry. They were just down in Daytona for like the whole thing. Yeah. Are you going to have them on?
My boy went over there and we did a quick video, and then I'm supposed to have Alan come on.
Yeah, Alan's great. So we did a small interview with them at Chopper Fest, and then we've been kind of talking back and forth on how we can do a collaboration together. And so we have a crew of 10. One of our riders has a really beautiful red bike that we're going to be, not to ruin it, but we're going to be doing some cool stuff to it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do a release of it, and then they're going to be doing some cool stuff at our events. And so they're
amazing.
Yeah.
The reason I thought about them is because I was thinking about, did you see that new ST fairing they created for the Road King?
Oh, yeah.
That thing looked gnarly.
So they had one, where did I see it? I think they might have had one at Chopper Fest, if I believe.
Oh, really?
I could be wrong.
That was the first time. Well, I didn't know about them until maybe 2 months ago or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and then I went to their shop and I was like, holy shit, like this is legit. And I was like, let me see if this is really legit. Do you have a warehouse? And holy shit, they have a warehouse.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're excited to work with them, and they're legit.
Yeah.
Like,
dude.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very, not knocking other vendors, but in our industry, it's very small. And to have someone that tight and, be able to, coordinate things the way that they're doing it, you can tell someone really smart and business-minded is behind it.
Right.
Because his operation's so tight. So, yeah, I love what they're doing. They've put out some really cool stuff. They did we work with an motorcycle detailer, Anthony's Auto Spa, and they did his bike, and it looks.
Oh, Anthony, yeah.
Have you met him?
Yeah.
Oh.
The taller gentleman, right?
Oh, God. Yeah. Everyone knows Anthony.
Yeah, everybody. No, he's doing a great job. He's supposed to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
I asked him a simple question. He's like, dude, let's talk. I was like, yeah, cool. What do you want to talk about? And he didn't respond. I was like,
he's busy.
Respond to me, bro.
You've got me on here. He'll respond now.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, I want to go.
Respond, man. I know where you work.
But Anthony is Mr. Social Network. He reminds me a lot of Franco in that regard. He's everywhere too.
Yeah.
And, but they did he calls it the Spa Glide.
Yes, the Spa Glide. Nice.
Yeah, Spa Glide. So he got it a custom seat from Saddleman, which, you talked about that earlier with the embroidery. And then he's got the Advent black bags and the fairing, and it's pretty sick. You should tell him to bring it up here so you can see it.
Yeah, I'll definitely want to check it out. I think
I've
seen a post of it.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think I didn't. Because he did an interview with Advent Black when he picked up his bike.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Anthony's good people. He's been with us since day one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Almost.
Yeah, almost day one. Yeah. Day one, no one knew about us. So
Be careful.
Operations.
I remember
Day one,
everything.
day 5, motherfucker.
Yeah, she pulls out her
It's
notebook.
not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same. That was good.
That's funny. Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
That's what you need. You need. If you don't have that, you need to make sure your other half has that. Your better half has that.
It's not mean. It's firm.
It's firm. That's right.
Here we go.
That explains me very well. I'm not mean. I'm just firm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She's Mama Bear. That's what her nickname is. She keeps me grounded and will just check me. I'll be like, hey, we should do this and this and this. She's like, Tony, no. And I'm like, okay.
But I always give him a good reason behind it. And, I never really tell you no, but I will talk him out of things in a way that he will comprehend.
Yeah.
But it's funny. And this is random again. This is me going off track.
That's what I love about your podcast, because you'll do
that.
that. It's so
Sometimes
good.
I get so fucking wild. But to me, you don't look like a Tony.
Yeah.
Until you tell me you're from Chicago.
Oh yeah.
So when you're like Tony, I'm seeing you get off the truck. I'm like, he's like
I'm Irish
Tony.
as hell.
Yeah. But then you're like Chicago. I'm like, he is a Tony.
Yeah. So my real name is Joseph. But my dad.
He's the third.
Yeah. But I'm the third Joseph in my family.
Well, he's the third Joseph. He's the third Joseph Aldridge. So they all go by they go by their middle names.
It's a super Southern thing to have.
I actually didn't know his name was Joseph when we first started dating, and I didn't find out until I just happened to look at his ID, and I was like, who's Joseph?
Who are you?
Joseph.
Who's this alter ego?
Yeah, I was like,
what other secrets do you have?
And I thought the same thing. I was like, but in the opposite way, I said, you don't look like a Joseph.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty common thing. I was in the post office, and this lady was like, yeah, I changed my name. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, I need a P.O. box, but I changed my name. I was like, is that a thing you can do? I didn't know, you can actually change your name. Mm-hmm. So that kind of makes sense. I'm not going to change my name to Tony. You can just call me it and we'll call it a day. But yeah, so my dad had the story behind my name is kind of funny. the guy I'm named after is Italian, but he's my step great grandfather. And my dad, I asked him, I was like, why'd you name me after this guy? And he's like, well, he's a ladies' man, and I want you to be a ladies' man. And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. So now with this red mustache, people are like, that guy's not Italian.
He's Irish. He's Irish as hell.
Exactly. It's so funny. But yeah,
it's really funny. We did our 23andMe's like last year or at some point, maybe a couple years ago.
No, wait. Oh, where is it? You did your 23andMe?
23andMe.
That shit's scary, dude.
Yeah, I don't care. They can have all my DNA.
But what if you like murdered somebody in like your past life and they're like, aha, we got you? Because that's what they're doing. They're like arresting people. Like,
really?
Oh, dude. There's so many like cases that they arrest somebody or they interrogate somebody because they had the same DNA of like somebody else from 50 years ago. Like, it's insane.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's actually kind of interesting.
It's super interesting. But then you're like, well, what else can they do with it later in the future, you know?
Well, make sure you don't commit any crimes.
I'll be your alibi, Anna.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Same here.
But yeah,
so we did our.
That was her idea, huh?
We did our 23. Of
yeah,
course,
right?
it was
You
my idea.
Caught, bro.
She's like, I didn't even know your first name. Let's check the rest of you out. All right? Like,
I want to do it, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to.
Let's make sure we're not related. Yeah. So I did mine, and I'm a mutt. I'm Italian. I'm Portuguese. I'm Spanish, and so my little circle had all these different colors. Just a modge podge of different cultures and ethnicities. And then we get Tony's back, and it is all one color. And there's a sliver of, there's like two colors on it.
So I'm 98% Irish.
Holy
and
shit.
2% English, which checks out if you know history of Ireland.
Right.
There's a lot of mixing right there.
So it's pretty accurate, huh?
I was blown away. I was like, there's nothing else in here? And I'm proud to be Irish. And also this is our month. So, you're lucky. Because I'm here.
That's right.
Look under. There might be a pot of gold somewhere. Who knows?
Under the carpet. Holy moly.
Yeah. But
there it is. It's a bag. It's a bag of gold.
What? Okay, we'll split it up. But yeah, she's like, "Are you serious right now?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're lucky."
That's insane.
Yeah.
I do want to do it because I'm so fucking curious. I'm like, I wonder what am I mixed with? If I'm mixed with it, I've got to be mixed with something.
They do it with dogs too.
Oh yeah, they do it with dogs. They do doggy DNA. We're gonna get We're gonna get it for our one dog. We have a purebred dachshund, and so we know what he is. But we got this rescue. His name's Ozzy. He's special. And we don't really know what he is. Like, we know he has like rat terrier, and I think border terrier, but he's just he's
special.
He's special.
Yeah. So we want to see. We want to know, like, what is this guy that lives with us?
Yeah.
So I get where you're coming from, getting me done first. And then we'll do the dog.
Yeah, we'll do the dogs. I got to check out all the men in my life.
At least she started with you and not the dog.
I know. She could have eased in that way, but she just went straight for it.
Yeah.
Like, here's your Christmas present. Tell me everything.
Tell me everything. We're also going to do a background check, so.
Sherry probably did that, dude. Sherry probably did that.
Oh, yeah.
But isn't that a trip? Imagine you're trying to get your 23andMe and you're like, oh, I wonder, I'm probably like, half Mexican and like, half Chinese and then like you're under arrest.
I know.
Well, I've heard a lot of like family secrets have also come out because of it. Brothers that they didn't know they had, or their parents were actually not their parents, and crazy stuff like that. That's also happened with 23andMe.
I did. I was recording a podcast for somebody else, and they had an interesting guest, and they said they were getting hired. It started with one client, obviously, but they were like, "Look, we want to hire you. It's a man in a dying bed. They're gonna, they're in a hospice or something. They want to hire you. They're gonna tell you a family secret that they want you to reveal at the funeral." And he was like, "What?" And it's secrets that people like kept their whole life, but now that they're dead, they want to rest in peace.
Oh, like deathbed admissions. Oh my God, I read those on BuzzFeed every now and then.
So this guy started making he starts charging like anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 because he'll have people hire him and they'll be like, "Hey, during my funeral, I don't want my brother to show up." So if my brother shows up, you got to tell him to leave. You know, like he does this stuff, and some of the stories now they're making a Netflix show about it. But
of course they are.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Like
I believe it.
Of course, Netflix.
I'd watch that.
Yeah,
Like,
same.
It's insane, right? I was like, where do you sign up for that job?
God.
10 grand?
Sign me up.
Yeah.
If anyone's
Get outta
hiring,
here, man.
if anyone's hiring, I will bounce your brother out and tell your secrets at your funeral. Okay, like done. Like,
Done. Yeah, that's just wild, dude.
watch, I get hit up. Hey, so I
You
know
heard
you
it
run a
here.
motorcycle group, but I saw this
You tell my
podcast.
brother. Yeah. I think we covered a lot. We're at an hour 14 minutes.
Wow.
Wow,
Good stuff.
went by fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
You guys want to put your Instagram handle?
Oh, yeah.
Your
Yeah.
website.
Yeah. So Westside _motorcycle _ collective
On Instagram, and then westsidemoto.com.
for our
Great.com.
yes .com is our website. If you want merch, you want jackets, hoodies, we got all that stuff. We'll be coming out with beanies and other cool stuff this year. Our Instagram is where we update all of our rides. And if you just like cool videos of motorcycles, we do that too. So also, we are the ones answering on Instagram. We don't have some like third-party Costa Rica thing going on. So we got you if you want to just ask questions, or if you're gonna. Yeah, I had a buddy. He just bought a Street Bob. He's like, "Hey, you got the hookup on like some exhaust and stuff." I'm like, "Hey, you know, like I know, you know, go to this shop, tell them you're with Westside, see if they can help you out." So we try to work with small business owners to help out our riders too. So if you're interested and you're trying to, don't hit me up for free stuff. That's not how that works. But but I will put in a good word into a local shop for you to help you out if you need it. So and then also if you need a tow. You know, we work with Shark Squad motorcycle attorneys. They will tow anybody who's involved in a motorcycle accident. Rob from Shark Squad's been super helpful. So if someone's looking for an attorney, save their number, hit us up. We'll help you guys out. All that good stuff.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
Trying to keep it safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Any other last shout outs?
Yeah,
Thank
I think
yous.
that's it. Yeah. Thank yous. Thank you to our group. So we have a very good group of close friends who've become our team. So shout out to everyone who's on our team who comes to our biweekly meetings that we do. And yeah, just shout out to everyone who's come on our rides and who has supported and made Westside what it is today.
Yeah.
You know, we wouldn't be here without you, and we're just continuing to grow and make it bigger and better. And yeah.
Factory 47, Espinosa leather.
Espinosa's
leather. Sorry. Memphis Shades, Progressive, Suspension, Burley brand, Performance Machine. We did some like stuff with Simpson Helmets with Hey, It's Cody. Shout out to her YouTube channel, which is the Iron Pony Show.
The Iron Pony Show. Yeah.
So if you haven't seen the Iron Pony Show, it's a little funny.
Iron Ponies.
Yep. And then, our crew. Shout out to the local Westside, Clutch.
No gang signs. No gang signs. You're on camera.
That was this.
Okay, just
peace
making
signs.
sure, just
Peace signs. No gay
No
signs.
gang signs, Tony.
I'm far from a gangbanger.
Come
But yeah, shout out to everyone who supports us, comes out, does our rides. Like, this is a lot of fun, and we couldn't do it without you guys for showing up and like showing us love. And also all the guys who do the cool wheelies and stuff. We appreciate you guys too, keeping it alive and fun. And shout out to C-Spot.
C-Spot.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Have you been
man.
to C-Spot?
No, I haven't. I have not.
You should go to C-Spot.
Yeah.
It's in Commerce. It's a little. I'll explain after we're off the air.
Guys, congratulations on all your success.
Thank
Hell
you.
yeah, man! Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having
dude.
us.
Anytime.
Yeah, you're rad.
Anytime. I'm happy you guys made it out.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Cool.